Hi, servers. This is Dr. Jackie B here, GG to some. Um, Thank you for tuning in. Today we did have our meeting with the representatives from Towson University regarding what's involved in establishing a scholarship or scholarships through the university as a MUMU alumni. And Brian, who's the Vice President of Institutional Advancement, shared 4 important points with us today. One, there are two different types of scholarships. Some of the what's involved with the criteria, limits, and restrictions, and how soon we can get this thing going. So, first, he shared that there are two different kinds of scholarships. One is called an operating scholarship, and the second one is an endowed scholarship. An operating scholarship is you get some money and you set up your criteria and you say, I want to give out, $500 scholarships for to hire many students. And the money is spent and the scholarships are awarded until the money is all gone. There is not any interest earned on the money. It's the money's there, it's given out. It's called an operating scholarship. And you do have the option of every year contributing to the operating scholarship, just knowing that you don't really build any interest on it. And if there's no money there, no scholarship is given. The second kind of scholarship, and the scholarships are not mutually exclusive. We can have both types, and I'll talk about that in a second as well. The second kind of scholarship is endowed scholarship, and that starts with a minimum of $25,000 that we have contributed to the university. And then once that's there, it's invested into the pool of investment money from the foundation, and then we begin to earn interest on that money, and that is the money that is actually awarded for scholarships. And you need a minimum of $25,000 for that to happen. Brian recommended $30,000 based on the way that the income and the interest is earned, so that we can even begin as early as 2025 awarding money from the endowed scholarship. However, if you wanted to give money immediately starting this fall, for example, fall 2024, we can set up an operating scholarship. Now, and we can do both at the same time, by the way. Brian recommended and reminding us that we still have a little over $2,600, I think, sitting in an account from the funds that we had raised to go towards the National Pan-Hellenic Council tribute. And of course, we were, being Deltas and being Mu, we outraised everybody else and met our goal and exceeded our goal. So we still had some funds for that. From that, and I mentioned years ago that we got to get back to talking about what we're going to do with this money. So now we're talking about it. And his recommendation was that we use that money to maybe give away two scholarships, $1,300 scholarships in the fall, this fall coming. And so that we can kick off our 50-year anniversary in a big way. And we can hold events around if we wanted to do that, and do whatever we like to do if we wanted to call attention to what we are doing. So another thing that we talked about was the criteria and preferences, because the question was raised, well, how do we make sure that a MUMU server gets it? The only thing that Brian made us aware of, one important thing, was that you cannot give out a scholarship using race and gender, and that the organization giving the scholarship, providing the funds, can also select whoever's going to get the scholarship. Of course, that was a bit surprising to hear. However, we can put in place, once we set up our criteria, we can put into place preferences. One thing we can do by saying we want it to be a member of MUMU chapter. We can also say that if a Nemu Silver is not available this year to meet the criteria, we can maybe say we want a member of a D9 organization to be the second preference. And so we can put things into place once we draw up the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, about what we want in place for our scholarships. And but that was kind of surprising to hear. The other way we can have impact on who actually gets it is that once we set the criteria in the university, we're automatically generate a list. And we can look at the qualifications of the people on that list. They'll give us, without the names and the race and gender, all those little identifiers, and look at who these people really are, meeting our criteria and everything else. And then we could rank them. We can rank them. So you can keep that in mind as we work on developing committees if we want to move forward with this. And I think that it's the major points that were covered today. And cannot say enough for having Soror Edna Primrose on the call today. Who was able to share her own experiences in setting up a scholarship in honor of her mother, as well as the path that she chose. And she did choose the mixed approach. And we appreciate that. And also, because she is the president of the foundation board. Thank you, Edna. And also Felicia, Tanya, Vanessa, your expertise. I know you said something with your mic today, but you were online today, and you helped to keep Brian on the straight and narrow, since he knows what he's talking about. And Denise and Arlene for your questions. They bring insight. All of you participated and raised your questions and help us to see the possibility of what can be and how it can be. So all of you that were on the call today, thank you. And I hope you've shared some of this information back with your line sisters. And the next step for us is going to be having a little committee form so we can work on this and bring it back to all of you again. So if you're interested, you can call me, text me my number, or email me my telephone number, 443-769-8588, or you can respond to this message. And Sorors, we will be the first sorority to do this on campus. And that's how we do things. We are Miu Miu. Thank you for your time. Love you much.